Hi.
Howdy. So you'll see we've got all the good green stuff. We got full tank of biomass, full tank of fermented biomass. We have our distillation done. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high. And this was for making methane. If you're not at this level yet, to make the methane for the system we're showing after this, even though a lot of methane recipes were removed, there is an easy way of doing it. It's just rubber wood. In a centrifuge, you don't have to have a distillation tower. But we wanted to get it and the ethanol system fixed at the same time. So we have carbon dioxide tank now, ammonia tank, methanol tank, acetic acid tank. We have our methane over here, and way the hell over here we have our water tank, which Crazy's climbing on, for us to electrolyze water, because we don't have finite water here, so I don't electrolyze water. And then we also have our ethanol over here. But anyways, to the main part of this, we need this setup just to make anything above EV cables now. So it's not fully automated yet, and apparently there's a change coming for it. You need chlorine in here with these methane cells that Crazy won't stop moving. And that makes
It's funny.
hydrochloric acid and chloromethane, which we have going into this tank. We also have a conveyor on it, which is putting the empty cells back. Wait a minute. Where's the empty cells going? I know they're going somewhere.
We don't have a conveyor on there.
Yeah, there is. There's a conveyor on the side of it.
I don't know.
I don't remember where the empty cells were going. We set this up before a frickin' server decided to have a hard drive failure, so my brain's trying to remember what we did, because we had to have this. Oh, the conveyor is to pull them out.
Yeah.
That's what it was. There's a conveyor in here to pull them out. Yeah. And then this is where that chloromethane comes and mixes with the silicon to make this stuff. Dimethylchlorosilane. That stuff. The purple gooey stuff. And that mixes with water cells over here, which I'm kind of confused where 6 of our water cells went, because we had 11 in here. I'm trying to figure out where they went to, because we have less than that now. Oh, wait a minute, I know where they're at. I got this set to auto output, so the extra cells are stuck in the pipe. So we have to get a way of getting them out of there. So we're going to have to put a drawer on here that basically grabs the pipes, or the empty cells. So, like, if I steal this one for a minute and put this on here, there's my empty cells. And then this is where something is going to change, apparently. The pulp needs to come in here, which it just got used with the sulfur to make the molten that is going to come down here. But up here you need small of that same pulp before it went in there. The polydimethylsiloxane pulp. And I think having to autocraft this is kind of ridiculous, so apparently this is going to change, and it's either going to take full or something different. I don't know. I was talking to him about this morning, afternoon, evening. So now we can make our over EV wires. So we have our aluminum cables, which you'll see if we come back here, and we managed to get this set up. So we are now able to get our power out of here and into here. Now, this is a crappy way of doing it, I will agree. Because if this side is full, this side will have nowhere to go. So this side is going to get full faster. What I need to do is have both of them outputting to the main here, which as soon as we can upgrade this EV to IV, which shouldn't be too awful long. The IV battery buffer is tungsten steel, if I remember correctly. Yep, tungsten steel and polyethylene sheets, and then tungsten cables, tungsten wires, so that's not an issue getting that now that we have tungsten done. And then we need Lapatron orbs to put in there, which this is something for Crazy to decide when we're able to do. It needs multi-layer fiberglass circuit board, power IC circuit board plate things, engraved Lapatron chips, nano component central processing unit, fine platinum wire. So, is there any of that you've had to do already?
No.
Is there any of that you're looking forward to doing now?
No. I'm gonna need an HV chemical reactor.
You're gonna need an HV precision laser engraver with
Just
a blue
to make
lens.
the boards.
Yep. You definitely are. Well, that one at least ain't gonna be too bad, because fiberglass is so much easier to make than the epoxies that came before it. It gives you use for sulfuric acid. You got tons of that. The power IC thing is a pick wafer and a cutting saw. Pick wafer is your glowstone dope wafer with a blue lens and an HV laser engraver, so that's another laser engraver we're probably going to have to set up. Nano component is a nano CPU wafer, which you're already making those, right?
Yeah.
Those then need to be cut into the nano component central processing unit. Which we already do that. So, at least one of these you know how to do already. And this all has to be done in a EV circuit assembler. So that's probably one of the next things we're going to be working on, so we can upgrade our power main here. Another thing I was looking at is we need one level for this. If you come back here to the Pyroluce oven, we need to change these over. And this will probably be our very next video. If you look at the uses for the program circuit that we have in there, and you go to the Pyroluce oven, you will see that what we are doing currently is 16 wood to 20 charcoal and 4,000 liters of creosote oil. That creosote oil is used for absolutely nothing but being burnt in our boiler. And we have tons of charcoal, so we don't even need the extra creosote. And if you hit the recipes for the Pyroluce oven, you will see that we could do the same thing, getting coal gas, which is useless.
Hello.
Hold on, Spiger, we're recording. Which is absolutely useless at this point. But would give us more charcoal if we pump some steam into it, which in my opinion would be counterintuitive because we're using the steam that we're making from the charcoal. Not sure, how much more we'd be making out of the extra charcoal. I ain't ran the numbers. But the important recipe in here is, if you go to, hopefully it's the same page for you, Crazy, page 8, there is a 16 log with a program circuit of 9 to 20 charcoal, same recipe we're doing currently, but it gives out wood tar. Did you find
Wood tar or wood gas?
Wood tar. We do not want the gas, we want the tar. And I'll explain why in a second once you tell me you found that recipe.
Yeah, I've done past that recipe a long time ago.
Well, back your ass up.
I'm working on it. Just continue talking.
Okay. So, the wood tar is needed in a distillation tower at 5 high to make 500 units of creosote, which would still get burned. Toluene, which means we can make TNT earlier because we don't have to have oil. Excuse me, by the way. Benzene and phenol. Now, the phenol is the important part here. We could actually do this in a distillery, I do believe, where we just go straight to phenol, but then we'll kind of lose, 40 in, you get 3 phenol out, where if you do it this way, it's 1,000 in, and you get 75 phenol out, but you also get the other stuff as well. But the phenol stuff is needed to mix with hydrochloric acid, which we have tons of, now that we have that other setup made, which also makes water cells, which we need in the other setup, and molten bisphenol A. And this bisphenol A stuff is what's needed to make molten epoxy resin for your resin boards that you're going to need to be making circuits with. We just need to get the sodium hydroxide and the epichlorohydrin, which we have the epichlorohydrin, if that setup didn't completely break. So I think we need to change these circuits over and make those two put out wood tar, which means Crazy gets to make more tanks. Crazy loves making tanks.
Yay! Happy joy.
She likes making tanks almost as much as she likes making circuits.
I prefer to make the tanks, actually.
Alright, so that's probably what we're going to do next week, or next video, or tomorrow, or whenever the hell we manage to get it done. So, hopefully, you enjoyed watching us mess with this goofy setup. There is an option if anybody is interested. If you're playing with this and you don't like this change, there is an option to change it so the old wires will stay the way they were and you don't have to make this complicated setup for silicon rubber.
Then why aren't we using that?
Because we can't find bugs in the system and make sure recipes are working right in what is currently the default way of doing GT5. I am seriously hoping that they make this config option that is default off. And you can turn it on if you want these overly complicated wires. I am all for realism in Gregtech. I am all for complication in Gregtech. But when you're making 2 fluids to make another fluid to do something that we've already were able to do, just making it more complicated way of doing it, to me it's excess. It's just grind for grind sake. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot more crap that we need to store, or we have to try to set up to where we have the exact amounts we'd ever need and not store them. You know, like we're not storing these fluids, thank God, or we'd have, 3 basements full of tanks. But, we never have to worry about storing these fluids because there's going to be used nowhere else. I don't think there's any other place that we're going to need the crap we get out of here, the chloromethane.
Purple stuff?
The chloromethane. Or the purple stuff. But just the base one that comes out of here, which is the chloromethane, I don't think it's even going to be used anywhere else. Yeah, its only use is right there, making that purple shit. Has no other use whatsoever.
As of right now.
Right, as of right now. But what's the point of making a fluid that is just there to make another fluid that's there to make another fluid that'll never have any other use somewhere else? To me, that's a useless step that's just there to be a pain in the ass. Yes. Alright, so Bear's done ranting and raving and bitching and complaining for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, have a good one. We'll be back next time setting up that other distillation tower and trying to pipe around all the new stuff we're going to be making with the Pyroluce ovens. So hopefully we can get back to making those epoxy circuit boards so Crazy can have her fun with circuits that she enjoys so greatly.
Oh, what joy.
Yeah, I know. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.